Good afternoon again, and thank you for having me. We will be speaking of everything CXC, the rules, regulations, all that. Let me get right into it because as Ms. Beckford said, it will be a short meeting. So I'm here to ensure that the exams are operated in a fair manner to all candidates. When I say candidates, I mean you as students, the persons taking the exam, right? Mask wearing is a must. I can't stress this enough. Please continue to wear your mask. COVID is still a thing, right? CSEC and CAPE exams begin May 2nd and they will continue until June 10th. These exams consist of 2 sessions. So there's a morning period, that exam starts at 9 a.m. and there's an afternoon period, that exam starts at 1 p.m. However, you are able to come to the exam room half an hour before. So please get to school by 8:30 and you can be in the class by 8:30. For the afternoon period, come by 12:30 and the invigilators will tell you where you're assigned to. At the front of the school, there will be a board on each day telling you which exams you have, depending on your registration number, or no, your candidate number, sorry. Your candidate number, candidates will be assigned to different rooms because everybody can't hold in one classroom. So candidate numbers will be assigned to the different rooms, right? Students, it's your responsibility to make sure you attend the correct exam. As Ms. Beckford said, the timetables will be issued to you eventually. If you come to a morning exam in the afternoon, I cannot help you. So please make sure you have the timetable all the time. Read the timetable, please read the timetable. I cannot stress this enough. Before the exams begin, make sure you have your timetable and the ID. You know how when you go to the airport, you have to have your visa and your passport before you book the ticket. It is just as important, right? If you don't have the school ID, you can get a temporary ID from the office. Make sure you sort this out before the exam period begins, please. If you come and you don't have an ID, I'm going to have to send you to the office and I'm going to cut out time in your exam time. And you won't be given back any time because it wasn't anybody's fault but yours, right? The reason for having the identification card is to ensure that you are who you say you are and is the correct person sitting the exam. So if you're Mary Jane and you come into the John Brown paper, that can't work, right? I'm now going to read to you some of the rules of the exam period. So the first and most important rule is no cell phones in the exam room, right? These rules will be posted at the back or on one of the side walls of the exam room and on the outside as well. So it says electronic devices are not permitted. So no mobile phones, no iPods, no MP3 or MP4 players, no tablets, no Kindles, no smartwatches, none of that stuff. You can bring your cell phone, students, but please turn them off and put them in your bags. The bags will be in a corner of the room. Please ensure the cell phones are off. If your cell phone rings, we may have an issue with that. All right. Candidates found in any possession of these devices, whether in on or off position, there may be an issue right there, right? Next thing, the timetables, do not write on them. If you write on the timetable, I will think that, or the invigilator will think that it's something pertaining to the exam and that you're cheating. Please keep the timetables free of ink or pencil writing, please. when it comes to being late, it says candidates who arrive late may be admitted during the first 30 minutes of an examination session. If you arrive after 30 minutes, you won't get any extra time. Candidates who arrive late for an examination session will not be allowed extra time to make up for the time lost. The examination must end at the prescribed time. As I said before, a candidate who presents him or herself in the afternoon paper for a paper which was taking place in the morning will not be admitted. All right, so when you get to the exam room, you have to be in the room for at least half an hour to an hour before you can leave. Note briefly, please, if there are any changes to these rules, you will be made aware before time or whenever it's necessary, right? Sorry about that. It says, candidates are not allowed to take into the examination room any of the following: books, notes, boxes of instrument bearing data, or any other article bearing data or paper for rough work. So for the paper tools, the questions and the answers will be on the same paper. You don't need to bring any extra paper to write anything down. Even for math, you do all your working notes and your rough work on the booklet that you will receive. Electronic calculators are forbidden unless expressly stated by the council in advance. So for math, math paper 2, it's permitted for math paper 2. I'm not sure if there will be any changes, but definitely for math, wait. So add math, geography, principles of business, principles of accounts. The paper 2s, the calculator is permitted. Just bring the calculator just in case, right? Bring the calculators just in case. Candidates must provide their own pencil, erasers, pens, rulers, compasses, set squares, and protractors. No gel ink or fountain ink pens are allowed. The reason for this is that those pens run, and when they smudge, the markers, as in the persons who are marking the paper, they will have an issue with reading. They won't know what you write if there's a mistake on there, right? So please, no gel ink, no fountain ink pens. Keep the regular paper mates, that's fine. Pens must not be used for the multiple choice examinations. Multiple choice is paper 1. So for all paper 1 exams, you bring a pencil. You're going to be shading on the paper with a pencil. Candidates will be provided with all stationery required for written answers, special answer sheets for objective type papers, and science data booklets and string. That would be for like geography. The removal of examination material is not prohibited. Examination material such as used or unused books, mathematical tables, and science data booklets, multiple choice booklets, and supplementary answer sheets must not be removed from the examination room by a candidate. Candidates, during the first, as long as you get to the room early, in that half an hour period before the actual exam starts, the invigilator will allow you to fill out the back of the paper. The back of the paper will have your receipt. So the invigilator will sign that receipt once you finish with the exam, and they will return the receipt to you. You will leave the booklet on the desk, or the invigilator will take it from you, right? Candidates are reminded to read carefully and carry out the instructions given on the question paper and on the front cover of their answer books or multiple choice booklets. Candidates must use their center number and their own 10-digit registration number throughout the examination. The examination number, sorry, the registration number and the center number, those things will be on a timetable. Candidates must write their names on the cover of each answer book and not on the pages. So on the front sheet, you can write your name and your registration number at the top right-hand corner. Yes. Okay, so when you look at your timetable, if you have a clash of exams, so for example, you have principles of business and you have clothing and textile at 9 a.m. on the same day, you're going to come to me and let me know, right? If anything like that happens to you, you're going to do the exam that you prefer first. It's up to you. So you can do the POB first or you do the clothing first. And then you'll do the exam for the 2 hours or the 1 hour. And then you'll get a 10-minute break that will be supervised. And then you'll do the other exam right after. But candidates, please just come and make me aware of this so I can prepare another invigilator for you, right? So you're going to pack a bag for this exam period. I don't want to hear that you leave this at home or you leave that at home. I won't be able to help you. I don't have any extra pencils, no extra pens. I don't have anything. I'm not a teacher, sadly, right? So you're going to pack a little poly bag, the transparent bags. Pack one of those with your timetable, your ID or your temporary ID, pens, pencils, erasers, nothing extra, right? As I said before, if you're bringing your backpack, it's going to be on the other side of the room. That transparent bag you will have with you. If you have a pencil case, you're gonna have to take out 1 pencil or 2 pencils and have it on the desk. There was an incident last year. Somebody, I don't want any incidents this year, right? So please, 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 please just keep yourself out of trouble and bring that little transparent bag or take out the stuff out of the pencil case and have them on the desk. If you're caught cheating, that I'll just have to take the paper and send it home, right? So please, I don't want to see any writing in your hand middle, no writing on your legs. It will take too much out of it to do all of that, and it's not going to pay off in the end, right, students? So just please save yourself from that. As I said, after you finish the exams, you're going to receive that receipt, and then you'll be on your way. I do think this is the end of my presentation. Ms. Beckford, please assist me here and let me know if I've missed anything.
I think you have covered quite a bit. Students, parents. It's extremely important that you follow the directives. This is a person who has the final say in what happens. So she has given the guidelines as outlined by CXC. So we're going to ask everyone to try, please. Well, not to try, we're going to ask everyone to conform to the directions as have been given just now. Just one other thing, when you get your individual timetable, I'm going to ask that you photocopy. Please photocopy the timetable and keep a copy at home.
Miss Ayres?
Yes, miss.
Mrs. Downer here. Until Miss Beckford gets back, could you let us know the day that you'll be available to work out clashes?
Well, a week before would be good. I have not received the layout of the timetable just yet. So I want to wait until after the students have received their timetable. So they can, once they notice it at the start of exams, they can come to me on the first day if they're there and let me know.
Okay, then. One more question, Ms. Ayres, for everyone. Yes. You said that if a student is caught like with the cell phone issue, like using their cell phone, could you just let our students know if they will be just banned for that exam or they'll be banned for the entire examination period? Thanks.
Okay, it says they will be banned for the entire exam sitting.
Thank you, students. Are you hearing that? Thanks, Ms. Ayres.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ayres and Ms. Downer. If it is that you want to keep track of the timetable, go to the CXC website. Just type in CXC, look for cxc.org, cxc.org. Go to the CXC website. Go to the request section here. Come on, be nice. And here over this side, so I just clicked on request here. Timetables are right there. Download timetables, and parents, you can have a copy of the timetable also. You can have a copy of the timetable also. So you scroll down and you'll be able to see the timetable. Those of you who are doing CAPE, you can see the full timetable. I'm lost behind all these things. You can see the full timetable for CAPE, or you can go to CSEC here. So you can see the timetables, parents, so you can keep track of what your child is doing. Now, parents, sometimes, let me just open this. Sometimes you may have to leave. Oh, so there are going to be two timetables. January, we're looking for the May, June. So it's a May, June 2022 timetable. Final update, March 10. That's the one that you're looking for, parents. And this is just so that you can see also when the children have their exam. So you can have it, you can either print it, parents, or you make a note of it. So they will have theirs. Parents, you can also keep track of what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Mommy, daddy, auntie, what you can do is, I know you have to leave home early to go to work, and they're going to be there. Sometimes they get here late. You can keep in touch with them on their phone. So call the house. You leave the house yet? Make sure that they leave the house on time. I'm going to suggest that they leave the phones at home. All right, just to make sure that we don't have an issue, leave the phones at home. Just make sure that they're out of the house so you can keep track of them and what times they have their exams. All right, so I just showed you how to get to the CXC website. All right, there's one other thing that I want to point out for those persons who came late. Parents, we are going to be placing in the various groups the timetable, the schedule for the makeup classes that we're going to be having, that the teachers are going to be having with the students over the holidays. If it is over the holiday, please ensure that they are in full uniform. This is for security purposes. We want to ensure that they're in their full uniform and that they walk with their IDs. All right. There are a few exams, quite a few exams that will be run on the Labor Day. Labor Day, I checked, has quite a few exams running. Now, parents, students, we know how the holidays stay, especially if it is that you're taking the public transportation. If you're taking bus, if you're taking taxi, we know how it goes on a public holiday. You have far less vehicles on the road. If it is that you have an exam on that day, you have to leave home early. You must leave home early. Remember, there's a window, there's a little window. If you come to the exam late, you run the risk of not being allowed in the exam. Please ensure that you come to the exam on time. If you have a problem, please speak with the exam supervisor.